So today we're going to do a vinyasa flow. Nothing too difficult, but nothing too easy either. So let's go ahead and get started in child's pose. So we'll bring your hips towards your heels, your forehead towards the mat. You can have your arms long in front of you or back by your legs. Just whichever feels good for you today. And just take a few deep breaths. Breathing in through your nose and slowly exhale. And softening your jaw. Just noticing how your body feels as you breathe deeply. And slowly rolling your forehead from left to right across the mat. Massaging that third eye space. And then if they're not already, walk your hands long in front of you. As you press into your fingertips and draw your hips down, feeling the stretch along the sides of your body. And take a deep breath. And then slowly coming up into all fours, we'll come into a tabletop position. So bring those shoulders over wrists, knees hip distance apart, and we'll move through a few cat-cows. So inhale as you drop your belly and look up, and then exhale as you round your spine, bring your chin towards your chest. Inhale to drop your belly, exhale to round, really pushing into the floor. Inhale as you drop your belly down, exhale, rounding. And just move through a couple of these on your own breath. Maybe closing your eyes. You can move your hips from left to right. Move your neck around in circles. And just whichever feels good for you. Just finding some movement. Coming through. One more round. And then we'll come to a neutral spine. So stepping back with the left foot, press the left toes into the mat as you draw the heel back. And then slowly bringing that foot up. If this feels good, you can stay right here. Or for an added challenge, raise the right hand, pressing firmly into that left hand down into the mat as you reach long fingertips to toes. Take a deep breath in and then exhale to release down. Stepping back with the right foot, pressing the right toes into the mat as you draw the heel back. Lifting that right foot. And if this feels good, stay right here. Or for the extra challenge, bring the left arm up. Pressing firmly into that right hand as you reach long fingertips to toes. Take an inhale here. And then exhale to release down. We'll take an inhale to reach that right arm up, so opening your chest towards the side, and then needling through. So bring that right hand behind your left as you drop your shoulder down to the mat. Bring your right ear down, and then walking that left hand overhead, finding a stretch in your shoulders, your upper back, finding your breath, bringing that left hand back under your shoulders, you push up and come back into all fours. We'll do that on the other side, so inhale as you take your left arm up, and then needle through, bringing that left shoulder down, left ear down. You can walk your right hand overhead, finding that stretch in your shoulder, in your upper back. Bring the right hand under your shoulder and push up, coming back into all fours. So tuck your toes here, and we'll come into our first down dog. So lift your hips up and back, pedaling through your feet, bending one knee and then the other. Finding some deep breaths. And then coming up high onto those toes, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, slowly drop your heels towards the floor. Inhale to your toes, exhale down towards the floor. Pressing firmly into those hands, we'll roll our weight forward, coming into a plank pose. So bringing those shoulders over your wrists, and we'll come into a modified side plank. So you're going to step forward with the left foot, bringing those left toes out towards the side wall. As you roll to the outer edge of that back foot, and take your left hand up towards the sky. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, release your hand and step back into a plank. And then this time stepping forward with the right foot, bringing those right toes out towards the side, rolling to the outer edge of your back foot, take your right arm up. And take an inhale to reach tall, exhale as you come back down into that plank pose. Take a deep breath here, and then lift your hips up and back, coming back into down dog. Take a deep breath in, and slowly exhale. Look between your hands and we'll walk to the front of your mat into a forward fold. So hang heavy here, just let gravity do the work. You could grab for opposite elbows and sway from left to right. We'll release that grip and slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time, allowing your arms to dangle, making your way up to standing, coming into Tadasana mountain pose. Bring your palms to face forward. Inhale as you bring your arms up, and then exhale through to heart center. Inhale as you reach up, and exhale, heart center. And this time, as you inhale up, we'll exhale over to the side. So pressing down with that right foot, reaching tall with your right hand. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, coming back to center, bringing both arms up as you breathe in, and exhale to the other side. Pressing down with that left foot, reaching tall with your left hand. We'll slowly come back to center. Inhale up and exhale as you fold forward. We'll inhale to a half lift. Bring your hands to your shins, straightening your spine. Exhale to release down. We'll bend your knees, plant your hands, and step back into plank. Take a deep breath here. And then we'll drop your knees as you untuck your toes. And then lowering all the way down to your belly. Sliding out. We'll inhale to a baby cobra, raising your chest, maybe hovering your hands. And exhale to release. Now keeping your hands where they are, but just drawing them straight out past the mat. So coming onto the floor, coming onto your fingertips. We'll press into the floor as you raise your chest just a little bit higher, and then release back down. So bringing those hands back by your hips, bring your left ear to the mat. Give your hips a little shake from left to right. And we'll come into Shalabhasana. So as you bring your chin to the mat, zip your legs together, and we'll inhale to raise your chest, arms, and legs. So reaching here from the crown of your head through your toes. And And take a deep breath as you reach just a little bit longer. And then exhale down. Bring your right ear to the mat. So if that felt okay, you can do that again, or maybe try interlacing your fingers behind your low back this time. Zipping your legs together, and we'll bring your chin to the mat, and as you inhale, raise your chest and your legs and reach through those fingertips. So take a deep breath in as you reach just a little bit longer, and then we'll exhale to release that grip. Bring your hands to the front of your mat to rest your forehead on the back of them. So bringing those hands back under your shoulders, we'll push back into child's pose. So you can bring your knees as wide as your mat, your big toes to touch, hips towards your heels, your forehead towards the mat. And just take a deep breath here. And then we'll slowly come up into that tabletop position. We'll tuck your toes and we'll come up and back into that down dog. Take a deep breath here. Maybe have a slight bend in your knees. And then look between your hands and we'll slowly walk to the front of your mat into a forward fold. Inhale to a half lift, straightening your spine. Exhale to release down. We'll inhale to standing as you reach your arms up. And then exhale through to heart center. And this time, as you take an inhale, we'll drop your hips down and come into chair pose. So bringing those feet together, so bring your big toes to touch, have your knees touching. Take a deep breath, maybe sit just a little bit lower. It's not that bad. And then on your next inhale, we'll come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms up tall and exhale to fold forward. We'll inhale to half lift. Exhale to release. Plant your hands this time. Step back with the left. Drop your knee. Untuck your toes. So coming up onto those fingertips that frame your front foot, make sure your knee is stacked over your ankle. And then press into your fingertips, round your spine, bring your chin towards your chest. Take a few deep breaths, creating some space. And then we'll inhale as you draw your hands up. Drawing that belly button in towards your spine. And take a deep breath to reach just a little bit taller. And then exhale to frame your front foot. So we'll tuck your back toes and lift your knee and step forward into forward fold. We'll inhale, half lift. Exhale to release down. And then inhale back up to standing. Reach your arms tall. Exhale, heart center. So bringing those big toes to touch. And on your next inhale, we'll sit back into chair pose. So dropping that tailbone towards the floor. Maybe sitting just a little bit lower. And take a few deep breaths. Softening your jaw. And on your next inhale, we'll come back up to standing as you reach tall. And exhale as you fold forward. We'll inhale to a half lift. Exhale to release down. Plant your hands and this time step back with the right foot. Drop your right knee, untuck your toes. So keeping that knee stacked over your ankle. Coming up onto those fingertips. We'll press into the floor, rounding your spine as you bring your chin towards your chest. And take a few deep breaths. And on your next inhale, reaching those arms up tall. Drawing that belly button in towards your spine. We'll inhale to reach just a little bit taller, and then exhale as you bring your hands down. So from here, we'll tuck your toes, lift your back knee, and once more step forward into forward fold. Inhale to half lift, exhale to release down, and then inhale to standing as you reach your arms tall. Exhale, heart center. So one last time as you inhale, sit low into chair pose. Finding your breath, softening your jaw. Maybe sitting just a little bit lower. Make sure you can see your toes in front of your knees. And then slowly come up to standing. We'll inhale as you reach up, and then exhale as you fold forward. We'll inhale to a half lift, and exhale to release down. So bring your hands down to the floor, and we'll step back with the left foot and draw that left heel down and come up into warrior two. So looking over those front fingertips, keeping that front knee bent and stacked over your ankle. Flipping your front palm, will reach up and back to reverse your warrior. So reaching tall with that lifted hand, keeping the back hand either on your thigh, you could wrap it around your low back, just not on your knee. Come back through warrior two, bringing that front forearm to the top of your thigh and lifting that left hand. So coming into side angle here. And take a deep breath as you really reach tall, coming out of that right shoulder. And then coming back through warrior two, take a deep breath as you open your heart. And then exhale, release your hands down to frame your foot, and we'll walk them around to the center of your mat. So coming into this wide forward fold, and the edges of your feet should be parallel to your mat. And bring your hands to the floor. We'll just take a half lift here as you straighten through your spine, and then as you exhale, we'll lower down to wherever feels good for you. You could take your peace sign fingers and wrap them around your big toes, pulling yourself a little closer down towards the earth. Feeling that stretch. And then slowly releasing that grip. We'll bend your knees as you come all the way up. Bring your hands up. Take a deep breath in. And then we'll exhale, fold forward. Walk your hands back to the front of your mat into that low lunge, and we'll step back into a down dog and take 2 breaths here. Pressing firmly into those hands, drawing those heels down. And then look between your hands, and we'll walk to the front of your mat into a forward fold. Inhaling to a half lift, exhaling down. Inhaling to standing as you reach up, and then exhale, heart center. And let's just take a breath here together. Bring your hands down into Tadasana Mountain Pose. Close down your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale. And one more time. Take a deep breath in. And let it go. We'll inhale as you reach your arms up. And then exhale to fold forward. And this time, planting that left hand, you're going to bend the left knee, keeping the right leg straight, and take your right arm up towards the sky. You can take the gaze up towards that right hand if it feels okay. You could come up onto those fingertips, maybe even placing a block or some books underneath you if you need a little extra space. And take a deep breath in, and then exhale to release down. So this time bending that right foot, planting your right hand. We'll take your left arm up as you straighten that left leg. So again, either coming up onto those fingertips, maybe a block or some books, if you need that extra space. And taking a deep breath here, and then releasing down towards the floor. We'll inhale to half lift, and exhale to release down. And this time, stepping back with the right foot, planting that heel, we'll come up into warrior two on the other side. So make sure you can see that front toe on the inside of your knee, looking over those front fingertips. We'll flip your front palm and reach up and back to reverse your warrior, keeping that front knee bent and stacked over your ankle. And take a deep breath in as you reach tall, and then coming back through warrior two. We'll bring that front forearm to the top of your thigh as you take your right arm up. So pressing firmly into that forearm, coming out of your left shoulder as you reach tall. And take a deep breath here, and we'll come back through warrior two. As you inhale, really expand across your collarbones, and then bring your hands down as you release to the floor. We'll walk them back to the center of your mat, coming into that wide forward fold again. And this time, taking those hands behind your low back and interlace your fingers as you drop them overhead, just allowing them to feel heavy, opening up those shoulders, and pressing firmly into the outer edges of your feet. And then releasing those hands. We'll have a slight bend in your knees as you come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms up, and then exhale to fold forward. We'll walk your hands back to the front of your mat, and this time stepping forward, forward fold. So now bringing those feet heel toe to the outer edges of your mat. You want your feet to be pointing out, and from here we'll just slowly bring those hips down into a yogi squat, malasana. So bringing your hands to heart center, you want to press those elbows into your knees, really creating space in your low back and in your hips. If you can't get your heels on the floor, maybe placing some blocks or books underneath them so you come up a little higher to find some space. You could also find some cushions to place underneath you here so you can bring a little more support under your bottom. Just finding some space here, so trying to keep your spine long and straight, pressing into your hands, pressing your elbows into your knees. And take a few deep breaths. And if it's in your practice, we're going to come into crow pose. So bringing your hands down in front of you, making sure there's still plenty of mat in front of you, or at least a soft surface, just in case. We're going to bring your hands down, and you're going to bring your knees to the backs of your arms. So bringing your knees to the backs of your arms as you slowly shift more weight into your hands. Then, when you feel comfortable, maybe lifting one toe and trying both feet one at a time, or try lifting both, coming up into crow. Finding your focal point. Maybe giving it a couple of tries. If you haven't done it in a while, I know we haven't had our normal practices, so maybe giving it a few tries, coming into your hands as you lift one foot and then lift the other, just seeing how it feels. Or if you don't want to try crow pose, you can just come to sit in child's pose. Just give yourself a break. Allow yourself to have a rest. And find your breath. And then eventually, when you're ready, we'll all meet there in child's pose. Maybe giving your shoulders a break by bringing your hands back by your hips. And just have a rest. Take some deep breaths. We'll bring your hands back under your shoulders to push up. Bring your knees together if they're not already. And just coming here, bringing your hands to the tops of your thighs and just close your eyes. Sitting tall, just noticing how you feel. You've been working hard. Give yourself some credit. And then we'll make our way into a seated position, bringing your feet to the mat with your knees bent, and coming into our most favorite pose, boat pose. So bring your hands to the backs of your thighs. We'll lift one foot and then the other, squeezing your knees and inner thighs together. If this feels good, you can stay here, or maybe try extending those arms out long, keeping those knees and inner thighs squeezed together. If you're feeling extra strong, maybe try extending those feet, finding your breath, and whenever you're ready, we'll slowly lower all the way down to the mat to lie flat. Might have to rearrange a little bit. Then we'll hug your knees in. Give yourself a big hug as you rock from side to side, massaging that low back. And we'll roll over towards your right side. So bring both hands long in front of you as you roll over, and then take that left hand up and over, coming into a twist. Maybe taking the gaze over that left shoulder. You could bring that right hand to your top leg. And with every inhale, feel your belly expand. And every exhale, twisting a little deeper. We'll slowly come back to center as you hug both knees in, maybe rearranging slightly on your mat if you need, before rolling over to the other side, bringing both hands long in front of you, and then extending that right arm up and over, bringing your gaze over that right shoulder. You could bring that left hand to the top of your top leg. And as you breathe in, feeling your body expand. And as you exhale, drawing that right shoulder down towards the mat. Finding a little more of a twist with each breath. We'll slowly come back to center. Bring your hands to the tops of your knees as you roll them in one direction and then in the other. We'll reach for the outer edges of your feet and come into happy baby. It's your feet towards the ceiling. And pressing that tailbone towards the floor. And then bringing the soles of your feet together to touch as you lower them down to the mat with your knees wide. Bring your left hand to your heart, your right hand to your belly. Just take a few deep breaths with your eyes closed and notice how you feel compared to the beginning of class. And we'll make our way into our final pose of class, Shavasana, with your legs out long, your hands by your sides with your palms facing up. And just finding a comfortable position. And I think this is where I will leave you in Shavasana. So feel free to take a few minutes in some deep relaxation here on your mat. And I thank you very much for joining me. So enjoy your Shavasana. Namaste.